Hey guys, Garrett197 again, this time with some new convention loot. So last week I went to an anime convention made in Asia in Brussels with some friends of mine, and of course I bought a lot of stuff there. Unfortunately I didn't buy any Gundam models because in Belgium prices for Gundam model kits are ridiculous. Quite literally the best price I found all day was like a Masquerade Tallgeese for 60 euros. And that is quite literally the best price you can find there. So obviously I didn't buy a lot of Gundam stuff. The only Gundam related thing I bought was this Ultimate Operations Gym Sniper 2, which was like 11 euros. Still quite overpriced, but hey, it's a nice figure, they're hard to find, and they look really interesting. Quite nicely detailed with a lot of weathering stuff. Also, this is a figure from 2000 and let's see what it was, 2005. And these kinds of figures come with chewing gum. And my friend decided that it was a good idea to eat the 8-year-old chewing gum. He claimed that it didn't taste too bad, but eventually decided to spit it out anyways. Yeah. Also, one super awesome thing was Good Smile had their own booth and they were selling limited edition Nendoroids that you can only buy from their website. Pretty much like those Bandai exclusives. They mean if you don't live in Japan, you cannot get them. Unless you can find their booth at an anime convention, such as this Sakura Miku. And in case you didn't know, I am quite a big Hatsune Miku fan. Just so you know, yes, this is my everyday wallet, as evidenced by my driver's license. So yeah, I was really thrilled to see that they had their own booth and that they were selling limited edition Nendoroids. So I couldn't resist. For 40 euros, I had to buy it. And of course I didn't just buy one, I had to buy the other limited edition too. The funny thing is this box is a lot more massive, yet the price was identical. Quite weird because this is obviously a lot bigger, comes with a lot more stuff and should be a lot more expensive. Also, really nice high quality looking package. So yeah, that's all the stuff I got, but I didn't just buy figures and stuff, I also got myself a lot of manga, because that's always the one thing I buy a lot at anime conventions, manga. I also realized, well, I kind of forgot that it was that the last volume of Negima was released the other day. Dernier volume, merde. So yeah, really big fan of Negima. I decided to buy all the ones I still needed. Next up, of course, the equally popular, very popular at the moment, Fairy Tail. Didn't quite buy them all because they're already at like volume 20-ish, I think. But hey, I'm catching up. Next, I also bought Keroro Gunso. If you're a Gundam fan and you have never heard of Keroro Gunso before, definitely check it out. It's an alien frog with a gunpla addiction. Yeah. Also, the funny thing is, of course, these are all French manga, and when I went up to the guys and I asked them, "Vous avez Keroro Gunso?" They looked at me as if I was talking in Japanese. They were all like, "Keroro? Keroro? Je ne le connais pas! Jamais vu! Keroro, c'est quoi?" Yeah, they had no idea what the hell I was talking about until I pointed to the manga, and then they were like, "Oh, Keroro!" Seriously, guys, you don't understand Keroro, but you do understand Keroro, just because I didn't pronounce the French R correctly. Yeah, that was unintentionally hilarious for me, and I really had to try not to laugh because it was so ludicrous. The title is in Japanese, so you would expect them to understand the Japanese title, right? Well, I guess not. Next up, also bought some Evangelion ones, Evangelion Gakuan Daten Roku. The funny thing is, this is one of the few mangas in which Shinji is actually a badass. Believe it or not, he finally gets the guts to actually punch his own father. That's how badass he became in his manga. Yeah, really recommend reading this one if you want to see Shinji from a completely different angle. And yeah, Plan de Complémentaire, more Evangelion. And at the end of the day, I found a stand that was selling used manga at €2 a piece. I couldn't resist going all out, and I probably should have bought a lot more. Yeah, I bought 5 volumes of Desert Punk. Actually never heard of it before, but hey, €2 a piece, and the cover art looks awesome. L'esprit du désert. Really looking forward to checking this out because, I mean, the title sounds awesome. The art looks badass. Yeah, like I said, €2 a piece. Buzorenkin, big Rurouni Kenshin fan, and I decided to finally check them out. Fortunately, they didn't have Volume 1, but I'm sure I can find that one place. I can find that somewhere. Also, Gunsmith Cats, I have Volume 1. Didn't really care too much, but it's a nice manga nonetheless. And finally, This Ugly and Beautiful World. I have heard of this before. I knew the title, but I never knew what it was about. And somehow, well, this is kinda the way I look at the world. This ugly and beautiful world. Because hey, the world has its ugly parts and its beautiful parts. And yeah, for a seinen manga, I'm really wondering how this is gonna turn into seinen manga because it looks kinda cutesy, but really looking forward to how this will turn out. Well, that's all for my loot. And oh yeah, one final thing. At the convention, they had Gundam vs. Gundam arcade machines for 2 vs. 2 co-op action. And I'm happy to say that I won every single battle I was in. Even when my friend was complaining that his that the guy he was playing with was absolute crap. Well, at that point, I should point out that the guy I was playing with was literally a 5-year-old. So I said, let's switch places, and I still kicked his ass. Oh yeah. So, that's all for this new loot video, and see you at the next one.